What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Wingin It podcast episode. We got a special guest tonight, Brandon. How are you doing, man?
What's up, man? I'm good. How's everybody doing?
All right, Jack
Good, man. I'm living.
and Andre.
I felt like an afterthought there. No, I'm doing good.
The hell?
It was the hesitation and the stutter for a second. I had to play on that.
And yeah, him, that guy. What you doing?
Yo, that dude. How you doing, dude?
The hell? What's going on my damn podcast? What the hell? That being said, how's everybody doing tonight? So, what's up, everybody in the chat? Hope everybody's doing well and had a nice Sunday. First things first, and this is just an update. We just found out apparently the Super Mario Bros. Movie just crossed 850 million,
Bro.
and
Best,
it's still going
best
tonight.
performing video game movie.
That's nuts.
Hey, no, this joke about to hit $1 billion.
It's about to hit $1 billion. It's probably
Look,
going.
I'm
You said all, and I'm like, yo, yeah, there's no way it's not.
Yeah, it ain't came out of Japan yet.
my prediction 1.5 billion.
Yeah.
Mm. But here's the thing, though.
That
I
sounds
like
about right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it hit too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, when it's all said and done, when you add in, the Amazon
Yeah.
rental, like I don't know, do they still release movies on
Yeah.
digital services like that? Like
Yeah,
did
they
a couple
do.
years ago?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Because Google Play already got it up for pre-order.
Yeah. I mean, because a lot of people is gonna spin a block and watch that about 2 more times on video
Yeah.
at the crib. So.
Well, that's the problem. Like I've seen people right now saying they're on their 5th viewing. Like they keep going back to watch.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because I mean, you think about it. This isn't a movie that just drags on for the sake of dragging on. It's a quick 90 what 90 minutes.
Yeah,
And
90
then
minutes.
it's just like, okay, 90 minutes. We get straight to the point. Get the movie out the way. We're not trying to do all this extra crazy stuff. So a lot of people are like, okay, it's easy to sit through. Like there's no point to where it drags. So, and then plus there's so many Easter eggs. You want to catch everything, so you're gonna have to watch it more than once.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Look, this making that Nintendo video streaming service that I've been not promoting, but begging for the last like 8 years sound more doable.
Mm-hmm.
That it is. That it is. All right. So, now that we got that out of the way, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all the other good stuff that you see down in the description area stuff. If you're on Twitch, thank you. If you like what you see, please leave a follow. So before we get into the craziness of last week and all of the stuff they decided to just drop the day of and the night before and all that stuff. First of all, what y'all playing on? Jack.
Right now I got back on Ghost of Tsushima. I had dropped it originally because my save files just magically disappeared. So as of this weekend, I finally caught back up to where I was originally. So I just went into Act 2 because I did a lot of the side quest stuff first. Like that's what I do. I do a lot of side quests. So even though I put like 20 hours in, I just got to Act 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Brandon, what you playing?
You know, I never finished Red Dead Redemption 2, so I decided to go back into that. So I'm playing that right now. I'm playing a little bit of Biomutant. That's
Mhm.
I don't like it.
So I said, how is it? Because I was interested in that game when they were showing it, but then it kind of quietly dropped.
I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but
Right.
I don't know. It gets kind of repetitive rather quick. So
Mm.
I mean, it's a great concept. It's really cool in the beginning, but to me, man, after about 8 hours, I'm like, okay,
Okay.
all right.
Gotcha.
it's one of those. But
Gotcha.
what I'm really enjoying right now is that seafood, yo.
Yeah.
Oh my
that's right.
god.
That's my
That
joke.
seafood hits. That seafood, like I keep going back to the arena mode, the arena editor mode or whatever.
Mhm.
Go back and doing those challenges. Yeah, yeah, that's some good gaming right there. That's seafood. If you haven't played that, man, you that's really good.
Okay. All right. Cool. Andre.
Well, my $20 Metroid Prime Remastered,
I saw that.
and also been playing Knights and Old Republic because that's been a recent obsession of mine. And then Ninja Saviors, which used to be Ninja Warriors, because I like sped through that game in one day. Yeah, I just played a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I saw your Mega Man stuff that you've been throwing on online and on YouTube. That was actually brought back memories. That's why I don't play that game. Because some of them bosses cheat. I'm just
Oh yeah, they definitely do. But if you just happen to have the right weapon at
yeah,
the right time,
yeah. So I have been watching that. Me, I've been back on my Xenoblade Chronicles 3 before Tuesday gets here and Future Redeem drops. Been playing back through some Breath of the Wild, getting myself ready for Tears of the Kingdom. And I did play that Street Fighter 6 demo, which we're going to talk about tonight, as well as some of the DNF Duel. So somebody,
Somebody got a beeper.
yeah. All right.
That's what it sounds
Yeah, they
like.
taking it back to 1995.
I know.
It didn't help that I just got done watching Snowfall, so the first thing that came to mind.
But yeah,
Man, I
that's
gotta
what
catch up with that one. I gotta play catch up on that series. Yeah, my bad.
so yeah, that's all I've been doing. So first things first, I do want to talk about that Street Fighter 6 demo and the showcase. So let's go on and talk about that. Number one, the showcase came out of nowhere. I did do a live reaction. It's in the playlist. I apologize because they said 5:30. I did not know 5:30 was a pre-show.
They always do that crap.
Yeah, but I forgot. I forgot. So I should have started at 6. I started at 5:30, and y'all know if you saw it, I was thoroughly trying to make it through. So once we get through the pre-show, got to the actual presentation itself. I thought the presentation was fine. They really did. I don't think they're ever gonna listen to the FGC again with what they did with 5, where they just put the game out because those fight game people wanted it out.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't gonna do that again.
Right.
Not the way they acting with this. They have put in a lot of it looks like they put a lot of time and effort into Street Fighter 6. I will give them that.
Sure. Yeah.
I do.
I will give them that. The demo itself plays smooth.
Yes.
I enjoy it. I've also got some gameplay of that first hour of that because you can do the first part of that world tour thing in about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. It goes by pretty quick. But I like the setup for it. And if you're not gonna give me a Final Fight game, then yes, add the Street Fighter. I'm not gonna get mad about that. Just add the Street Fighter. Because I want Final Fight, and I would have thought after Street Fighter, not Street Fighter, Streets of Rage 4 blew up, I just knew Capcom was gonna be like, okay, we can do that too. Then I remember Capcom is allergic to money. So that kind of dashed all of that. But Jack, I want to get your thoughts because you played the demo as well. So what are your thoughts on the demo?
So this is coming from somebody that's not like a fighter fan, but I want to get back into fighting. So playing this game and then also knowing that Tekken's coming later down the line, I've never really been too big of a fan of Street Fighter. And I think the best way it has ever been put to me when we were on Sandstorm podcast was like Street Fighter is a game to where you can build combos opposed to kind of having them pre-mapped out for you. So going into this game with that mindset and really like thinking about it from that standpoint, it's one of those things to where looking at the common, combos that you have, like how to do the Hadoukens and how to do those certain puts, not combos, but put those inputs. But then also seeing that they had another control scheme too, of like you can just press a button and do the special move. Now it won't get you, I guess, too savvy with the controls, but nonetheless, it makes it a lot easier for you to get into the game. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So seeing that and seeing the different things that they've added to the game with the little bars down at the bottom, I forgot what they're called, like where you do those what is it called, like supercharges or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So and seeing those, the graphics of the game, just kind of how smooth it flowed, like you said, but then also like I put on Twitter, the biggest thing that I loved about this that I've been barking about for Mario Kart is commentary. Like it didn't seem robotic, it didn't seem repetitive. It was as if somebody was sitting there doing the commentary. And that's something that I liked about the game. It was something that was underrated in Streets Volume 2. Like even though they're calling out more or less of what you're saying, but the energy that comes behind it just adds to it. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of adds life to the game opposed to you just hearing the sound effects from people fighting and going back and forth. But seeing the tutorial was pretty simple and to the point. Just trying to give you like a full breakdown like all tutorials do. But then really just kind of giving you more insight. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's definitely something that didn't really need to happen for me to go towards Street Fighter, but it was definitely worth it for me to try it out, see if it's really something I want to do, see if it's really something I want to pick up when it comes out in June. And honestly, I might get this over Tekken, maybe. But it just all depends on if Tekken comes out with a demo first.
Yeah. Well, me personally, just because I know Capcom, I'm probably going to wind up waiting just because, look, let's be honest. By the end of the year, there's going to be a Street Fighter 6 Ultimate Tournament Champion Edition Melee Brawl.
That's what
Ultimate.
I wanted to say.
So
I wanted to say that so bad.
I'm like, I just look. Like I said, I enjoyed the demo and I like what they're doing because they made it more accessible for people who are casual fighting fans.
Right.
Like you ain't gotta be, you don't have to be somebody that's trying to go to tournaments to play the game and have fun.
Right.
And because I think a lot of people don't. I ain't gonna say that. I think people do not understand that just because you like watching Evo, everybody don't like watching Evo.
Right.
Like some people just like to go in, play the story mode, play it when family come over, and that's it. Like they're not trying to prove they're better than somebody.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. So I think that's a good thing. That's one of the things I liked about it. I like the modern and classic parts to it. Just because, yeah, everybody gonna be able to do quarter circle this and Z this to, make moves work. Yeah, I mean, look, I hate it to be like this, but man, when Smash Bros. Makes it easy to pick up, anybody can pick that up. I mean, you kind of have to let your fighting game have a mode where people can just pick it up.
And that's the thing. Like you even spoke about before of options to where, like, yes, if you're a beast with the regular little standard inputs, then you would still win. I mean, you'll have more of a challenge because somebody can just press one button to pull off something. But if you get into the details of frame counting and figuring out when to do this, I mean, you're going to be good regardless. But I do like the idea of letting this be easier for casuals to pick up. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody's been in that situation to where you've gone online and playing Mortal Kombat and somebody has Melina and you can't even touch the damn ground because they're juggling your ass the whole time. So, like,
that is not fun.
Yeah.
No.
So, Shadow, did you play it?
What are we talking about? I'm sorry. I just came in. My son is. No. So I'm trying to do that now. I got this little gray guy behind me that I'm trying to download all that on, but I keep getting confronted by my youngest son who is begging to have the PS4 in his room so he can download a copy. So it's a whole thing. I have the OG one, the launch one that I have. My son plays the most. And so the goal was we were going to trade once I finally copped the digital version. So I copped the digital version and the video will come out for that soon. But so I copped the digital version and we're supposed to switch and I'm supposed to get the physical because I like physical games, even though they're kind of pointless on PS5. But I still want it. Like I like the spines. I want them to be behind me on the shelf back here. But after talking to him and everything and the way our accounts are set up, that's probably pointless. So I'll probably keep the digital and then he'll keep whatever he has on there, because whatever he has on his account and whatever I have on my big granddaddy account of PS for everybody kind of,
Right.
he keeps that stuff and I keep his stuff as long as he signs into this PS5. And then and when he signs into the PS4 that my youngest son has, he can play all those games on there. So it's just it's a whole thing. And he's begging, "Hey, Dad, can you go ahead and put that in my room now since you have the PS5 digital?" And it's the whole house is running around like trying to. I'm like, bruh, like you have an Xbox One in your room, you have a Switch in your room. There's a PS5 in the loft. There's a PS4 in the loft. Like, figure it out. I just took the PS3 down. Everybody wants to play everything, and I'm like, I have to juggle all these games. Like, there's a reason why I said like Madden exists. Every version of Madden, every version of NBA 2K exists in my house. So it's
so I take it you are getting that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom OLED. Seeing as how you getting everything else,
she'll kill me. Look, I had to. I want you to understand how much, how much close to divorce this.
Yeah, when he told that the other week, I was like, ooh.
Because we have 4 Switches in the house already. Like, this is so close to divorce. They're like, you have this and you want another one. I don't understand what. Like, look. Because a PS4 is not a Switch, you have to buy multiple of them. If you want more than one in a separate room, you can't just take a PS4 and just dock it. So you can't take a PS5 and just dock it. You have to have more than one if you want more than one in a separate room. So it's a whole thing, man. So it was a whole daddy woes moment and the Bacardi break. So I had to like figure out how I'm gonna figure that out after multiple shots. So now that I have that, I realize a cute little thing is that so these things have they have the same model number, but they have different manufacturers depending on which version you get. So there's a stamp on the back of the controllers that is different depending on what version of what bundle you bought, which I found out by looking at all of the 7 controllers that my oldest son has. So it's interesting, man. It's interesting how that goes, but. That being said, didn't have time to download the demo, but I have seen a lot of footage. You'll see footage in the background of me once I review this guy behind me. But I haven't had a chance. My oldest son has had a chance, and we'll play together probably in the next couple of days, and then I'll probably record that and upload that for you guys so you can see me fucking mop the floor with him because. You know, I hopped on Dr. Trey stream and I'm like, "What's good with the Ultra Street Fighter 2 rematch or whatever?" Right? And he's like, "Nah, because I'll whoop you." I'm like, "Do you realize I was playing you on like my cell phone connection?" But okay, because I was in a hotel room at the time when I was playing him, and I don't think you realized that. But
so. You know, the demo's coming out on Xbox next week, right?
It is. I didn't know that. I thought it wasn't coming out at all.
No, it's coming out on Xbox next week.
And I think it's a stab in the heart because they're not even releasing the 8th gen version of it for Xbox. So like Xbox One gets no love. It's only
unless you got Game Pass. If you got Game Pass, it don't matter.
So on Game Pass, you're streaming it kind of on the Xbox One then at that point.
Yeah,
you're not really playing it.
Yeah.
So I don't know
how that.
I still feel some type of way about that because Xbox One could run that game.
Dude, it's RE. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be nice. So, Andre, have you played it?
You talking about the Street Fighter 6 demo?
Yeah, or watch the showcase or whatever.
I saw the showcase, but yeah.
Part of me is kind of abstaining because I don't want to get mad anymore because they're taking my ideas and then bastardizing them.
Sean, I'll tell you right now, Sean isn't on it. So you just Sean isn't there.
He had the Street Fighter 6 podcast. Like Game I Dig had a whole podcast about Street Fighter 6.
Yep.
2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago.
Yep. And don't watch that. Please don't watch that showcase.
He wanted me on the podcast, but I failed to join for multiple reasons. Daddy woes again, but you know.
I'm just saying. They brought back the dramatic battle. They brought back the world tour mode and made it a tourable world like I wanted them to. Made a custom character that kind of is important to the story.
And you can use any character's moves.
It didn't take the idea of the three younger characters that were face characters for the Street Fighter franchise and making them important.
Like I said, don't watch Showcase. You
Look,
probably gonna be upset.
if you want to know what's going to happen in the gaming industry, just follow this guy. Just follow him. Just follow him. He's got it going on. Oh, this is.
Now you tell that to too many people, and then the developers will start ignoring me.
Well, I mean, they using your ideas. I don't see kind of.
I'm sorry when one of the lead developers for Resident Evil is following me on Twitter and I didn't know it. I'm like,
They're following you for a reason.
Yeah.
it might be some truth to this.
It might be. Brandon, you got a chance to I know you said you watched the Showcase. So what you think about Showcase?
Yeah, man. I saw the showcase. I was watching a little bit of it, and then so I came front, right? Like, so when I saw Lil Wayne pop up on the screen, I'm like,
I think that was everybody's
okay.
thing.
Okay. All right, I think I'm good. That's what I was thinking, but I still watched. And okay, quick question: is this the first time the concept of the open world campaign? Is this the first time they tried that, or was that in Street Fighter 5? Because I haven't played Street Fighter in a while, y'all. So
this is their idea. It wasn't in 5.
So do I need to? I'm gonna make my disclaimer again. The Ryu amiibo has more content than Street Fighter 5 at launch. I repeat again.
And I bought Street Fighter 5 at launch, so he's not lying.
Yeah, the Ryu amiibo is more content than Street Fighter 5 at launch.
It got better.
Wow.
Though. It did get better.
It did get way better later on.
Yeah.
I mean, just like Ultra Street Fighter 4 did, even though I bought Street Fighter 4 launch, so I'm salty. But that's neither here nor there. But it's the same situation with Street Fighter 5. If you bought Street Fighter 5 day one, you got screwed.
Yeah, but Shadow, me and you, we talked about this at launch of that because they did that because of the fight game community, and I don't think they're ever going to do that again.
Yeah, that was a dumb move.
Yeah. They will never do that again.
And Shadow, don't feel too bad. I bought the Street Fighter.
Well,
yes, behind that.
So the concept of the open world campaign, I was like, it might be dope. And then I started watching more, and then I started getting Yakuza vibes, and now I'm like, okay.
It's just they is all it is.
Yeah, they definitely borrowed those things from those franchises, but the original concept for what they do with their open world thing is just World Tour mode from Street Fighter Alpha 3 all over again.
Yep.
Okay.
You get the abilities of World Tour, but you go through the open world as if you were playing NBA 2K or something. So you go through and you're like, hey, I can challenge you to do whatever, and I get these cards and these abilities that I could use with my custom fighter online, and I could do custom fights online as long as I agree with the other person online that they're using their custom fighter. Because if you go and play rank mode, none of that shit matters.
Right.
So it's like that.
Okay. I will say this though: if you're not gonna give me Final Fight, thank you for putting it in there.
I like all the Final Fight references. I appreciate
that's
it.
what I'm saying. If you ain't gonna give me a Final Fight game, I'll take it. I'll take what I can get.
I mean, technically, Final Fight is a spin-off of Street Fighter anyway.
It is one of the Street Fighter games. They call it Street Fighter. So, like, I appreciate the reference of putting Final Fight in the hopscotch when you go to the Street Fighter open world. I appreciate that being there because that's the order that it goes in. It goes original Street Fighting Street, then Final Fight, then Street Fighter 2, then Street Fighter Alpha. And I appreciate they put it all in order for you so you can understand the concept of what they were trying to do. So yeah, I get all those references and I appreciate that. They did that like with the context of people that follow. So it made all the sense in the world. And shout out to Numa because that's my subtitle for today. That's
we're gonna get into that in a minute. All right, so first thing.
Well, hold on. Lil Wayne in Street Fighter.
Right.
Really, he was just a host. He's a celebrity host.
I'm trying not to.
Y'all know how that works. Y'all know how that works.
They needed him to announce the game.
That was marketing to get the young kids in, right?
Y'all know how
Which is
it's the Sony version of Usher.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's what I was just thinking about.
Check out legendary rapper Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
to me, that is just stupid because it shows the disconnect between what they think works and how much money they're wasting
Right.
versus what actually works.
And I'm just
Yeah.
gonna tell you, I'm just gonna bet like 1,000% that dude is trash at Street Fighter. I'm just gonna say
Oh
that.
yeah, he definitely is. He definitely is.
Garbage. Like at least Ice-T was good at some of the shooting games that he was promoting then at the time. Because he did a bunch of live streams.
He still actually plays.
He's
Like
still
Yeah, he
playing.
still
he
plays.
actively
He's
plays.
Yeah, he
hardcore
still
with it.
play.
So
Yeah, he actually kind of nice with it.
Yeah, like
Still.
he got a squad that he rolls with on Call of Duty and Division.
Shit,
Yeah.
you
He
know,
got a squad he roll with. I'm like, yeah, I ain't.
you know,
trying to
Ice T
run
probably
I
got
ain't,
two
I ain't fitting into his squad
4090s
up.
beside each other
Yeah,
with a big
So-
projector screen. He probably
I'll say this though, I appreciate the absurdity though, because
Yeah.
in the open world thing, like you do like a bunch of mini games to level up,
Yeah.
and so in me recording the video for this thing behind me, so my wife was helping, and so I had a video behind me, and it was the Street Fighter video, and she's like, "Why is that guy fighting refrigerators?" I'm like, "Look, don't worry about it." So pineapples flying out, all kind of fruit flying out as bonuses, and she's like, "What is happening?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's a Street Fighter thing."
Did she not see the Did she not see the semi?
No, she didn't. She didn't see the whole. Yeah, and
Okay.
then you have to fight the entire semi, and
Yeah.
watching Cammy fight the semi. Like, what is this thing? Yeah, you got to fight this.
I was like,
I was
look,
waiting
it's
for
a
it to
Street Fighter
transform into
game.
Optimus. I
It's
was
a
waiting
Street
for it.
Fighter game. Don't
Yeah, don't think about it. Don't think about it too
don't
much.
try to make it make
Yeah.
sense. Just
Don't
go
make it
with it.
make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, what's up, Sandstorm? You there?
Yo, what's good?
Okay. So, did you get a chance to either see or download the demo for Street Fighter 6?
I did not, unfortunately.
Okay,
Is it
we'll
still
just move
going
on to
on?
the next thing. Well, the demo's live. So
Yeah, it's live right
Okay.
now.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So yeah. All right. So I'm glad you brought up physical copies, Shadow, because Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So for everybody that loves physical, I'm not one of those guys who likes to tell people what to do. I just find it funny that people will tell you that you need to support physical games when the game is not on the physical media
Right.
that you're talking about.
Correct.
Case in point, Jedi Survivor on Xbox Series X and S. It's 140 gigs on Series X. It's 44 on S. Not bad, right? For S, that's not bad, right? That can probably fit on a disc. For PlayStation, though, 148 gigs.
That's disgusting.
So there exists a 100 gig Blu-ray disc,
Yeah.
right?
But you're not paying. You're not paying for it.
And is the publisher going to pay the
No, they're
extra
not.
$2 per disc or whatever?
Nope, they're
For
not
the
gonna do
100
it.
gig disc. So they
Nope,
probably
not at all.
they'll give you a dual layer 50 gig disc maybe if they want to spend that money.
But
Or
that's
they'll
for
give
S.
you a single layer 50 gig disc and have you download the rest.
But here's the thing. Most of that stuff on those discs are just a license key. It's just you still have to install the game.
Because
Matter of
Call of
fact,
Duty syndrome.
on the
Mhm.
on the tweet for PlayStation, they have preload is April 26th.
Yep.
So the game drops April 28th. The preload is April 26th, which means they'll let you preload it.
Jeez.
Dude, man, look. If you tell me that I buy the digital version, that when they cut the servers off, I'm not gonna have the game, you're in the same boat.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Yeah.
after I had that argument with Dr. Trey on his live stream, I went to go find my copy of Ultra Street Fighter 2. It's actually my oldest son who plays the PS5 physical or this version the most. It's in his room, and I'm like, so you're up here trying. His thing is he's trying to get into fighting games again.
Mhm.
So he's trying to play fighting. So he has Ultra Street Fighter 2 in his room. And I'm like, hey, bro, I need that cartridge back because I need to play. And he's like, all the fighting games are in his room now because he's trying to do this little studying thing, which I get because I guess he watched a couple of videos that says you should play older fighting games.
Mhm.
And he's out here like trying to
Trying to
pull
learn.
all fighting games he could find in the house. Like, so he's like looking at Dreamcast discs and stuff, and I'm like, bro, but I don't have the Dreamcast plugged up right now, so I don't know what else you want me to tell you. So, but he's like pulling down everything. He has Mortal Kombat 11 PS4, Mortal Kombat 10, and Mortal Kombat 9 pulled up. And he just has all those discs sitting there. I'm like, hey man, I might want to play those at some point. You just have them all. He's like, no, I'm holding all of these because I'm doing research right now. I'm trying to be. I'm like, just sit down with me at some point, and I'll show you all the ropes. But he trying to learn everything on his own because TikTok is king apparently. So
I would tell him from personal experience, you only get better if you play against the person.
Yep,
correct. Yeah,
you gotta play. The only person I've seen get better from watching streams or looking at tournament players was Maximilian. That's the only person I've seen, and he does that strange thing where he'll play with the character. He's like, I've never played this character before, and he'll like Google a YouTube video of somebody else that does tournament play, and then he'll start playing like them immediately. Like other people can't do that.
No,
it's just him. Like nobody else can really do that. You got to spend time and earn your L's playing against other people and know their strategies. So. Right. You just have to spend that time with that character and just and figure it out. Like, but you can't be like him. He's different. He's an alien. He's not like regular people.
Except he keeps talking about rollback netcode. Anyway,
he's like, we need his rollback netcode. I'm like, but they got to build a whole game for that. Like, Jesus, not the same.
But yeah, the whole thing with this Jedi Survivor situation, it has me like, look, I get we want like a lot of gamers want like bigger and better, and sometimes bigger ain't better, dude.
Right.
Like sometimes it just ain't like this. This is getting to the borderline. Well, I thought Call of Duty was ridiculous. That 280 gigs. I'm like, they're not even giving people. They're trying to sell people. Hey, well, you don't have to buy a terabyte. You can just get a 500 gig for what? 2 games?
Right.
They just released another podcast and they're talking about file sizes and comparing that to the size of a Game World. And I'm like, Breath of the Wild is like 16 gigs.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild 16
and that's
gigs.
bigger than anything that Monolith has ever done. So I don't. Bro, it's not. It's not.
Tears of the Kingdom is 19. I think they said.
Yeah, it's either 16 gig card or now it has to be a 32 gig card because they're doing 24.
Yeah, it's a 32 gig card. Well, the 32 gig cards ain't expensive. Like, let's.
It's the 64s that'll be expensive.
It's the 64, 128, and with 512.
Yeah.
So I think the 512 is like what, 125 now. I think.
So if they do that, like per pen, I think it's $1.25 per pen. So you have to like imagine that every extra gigabyte you're adding about every extra gigabyte you're adding another $2 or $3 to.
Yeah. So because I know the 64s are not as expensive as they used to be.
Yeah.
I know the 128 and 512 are, but it depends on what
and they don't make a 24 gig capacity, so you gotta do 32.
It's 8, 16, 32.
Yeah.
8, 16, 32, and
it was 64.
64, yeah.
Yeah, 64.
Yeah. So so I mean, like I'm not exactly worried when it comes to Nintendo because they know how to compress. They do stuff with compression that don't make any sense. Like I remember, what was it, Super Mario 3D World? Like that was like a gig and a half.
Yeah,
1 gig.
And like with all that music and all that, like because they did a lot of music for that. And I'm like, okay,
but that's the thing.
A lot of live orchestrated music too.
Yeah, but the other thing is like, hey, so these 8K assets we have, whatever, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna repeat them because these are just power blocks, and these are these can be repeated throughout scenes, so we're not wasting a shitload around throughout the entire game. Versus, in Call of Duty, all these art assets have to be unique in every single scene. And I'm like, bro, you're using guns. Bro, that's a bridge. Like, it's concrete. Concrete is one color. I don't know what else to tell you, but you want to have this custom art for this one bridge. And it makes no sense to me, but they do it. They do it every game. And I'm like, bro, you're amassing 200 gigs every game now at this point. And can nobody afford that? Yeah. It don't even fit on a disc no more. It's just a CD key.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You're literally getting a key, a license key. That's literally what you're getting. You're better off just doing a digital download.
Mm-hmm.
You're just better off. I mean, I,
But
I just find it to be ridiculous, utterly ridiculous at this point.
that does though bring to me make me kind of question things though. If for the Series S they can have drastically smaller file sizes than is
Yeah.
possible for the other version of the platform and the PS5.
Or for Switch, since Switch is like 720p or even lower, like make those art assets smaller, and the Switch supports fucking tiled assets, so or virtualized textures at any point, like you can have smaller texture sizes for that reason, which means they'll fit well within 3 gigabytes of RAM. But they just don't want to, and they're making games like over 120 gigs for even for Switch, and like why? Like there's zero reason to do that. So
Yeah.
you look in the main code, and the main code has art assets that are up to 4K. Why are you doing that for a Switch game? So that's just one of those things. They're not even trying. They're not even trying to optimize.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, if you optimize, I wonder how much junk code is in that Jedi Survivor stuff. I wonder how much junk code is in there.
Witcher 3 postmortem. Read it. Read the Witcher 3 postmortem. They threw away code. Like they were using cycles for the CPU for sound. The Switch has its own DSP. Pass the sound to that. You only have to use the CPU.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow.
I learned a while back with the Switch, just learning that the fact that The Witcher 3 was on it, that let me know that it's about the developer.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Doom. Both the Dooms with the DLC.
Yeah, that too.
They had to throw away so much junk code from the PC version. Like they just took code and just like, we don't need this here. Why is this here?
This is a trend in the gaming industry, y'all, because everything that's coming out, Hogwarts Legacy, just terrible optimization, and they just clear it up in a couple months with a patch.
Yep.
Because people still gonna buy it, and
Day
it
one.
ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter at
That
the end
was
of the
me.
day. Well, I bought
Me too,
Hogwarts
apparently,
Legacy because that game is amazing. Let me tell you,
It is.
it's good. It's good. I got my brother flying all over Hogwarts, zapping every evil
What do you say,
white
Brandon?
man
No
with
fast
a
travel.
magic stick. Right.
Why'd you have to say it like that?
What do you say, Brandon? No fast travel needed. I got a broom.
Got a whole broom.
That's right.
Whole broom fast travel.
Oh man.
So with that
I
being
do a
said,
drive-bys on. Nah, but go ahead.
damn. With that being said, what do you guys think about? Because I ran over this article where they're like, open worlds are no longer needed, and I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, yeah, but we knew that like years ago.
Yeah.
Is that about the Final Fantasy thing?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
one of the writers, I guess, because it was two writers on that article. I should have saved it and I didn't. But one of them was saying, because he played the Final Fantasy 16 demo or beta or whatever they were doing, and he came to the realization that we don't need open worlds no longer. I'm like, we didn't need them for every game.
Well, you like 4 years too late.
So,
yeah,
sure.
But that was Final Fantasy's 12 attempt at chasing what Xenoblade was.
Yeah.
So you can't really fault them because they had people that left their team to go do bigger and better things for Nintendo, and it worked. So you can't really fault them for trying. And they're like, hey, well, we got to do this thing and make it work because we got a smaller team elsewhere that's kind of making us look bad.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna try. I wouldn't expect them not to try that. It's just like, is it worth it at the end of the day if the core reason you play a Final Fantasy game is for Final Fantasy gameplay and either turn-based or real time combat that works for you? So if that's what you're there for, great. But if other people were there because they saw other things that happened as they attempted to chase open world, then Square saw the potential of losing those individual people to the Brownie Browns and the Monoliths of the world that were moved on with Nintendo to spread how their engines work. So they saw them as a threat. So you couldn't blame them for trying to. And plus, Western open world games have become popular then at the time as well.
All right.
So they were trying to chase what they thought was the new dollar.
Well, I do kind of feel bad because like there was a I forgot the name of that guy. Did y'all see that on Twitter where that developer like every time like when they first got their hands on Breath of the Wild, they were like, we had to scrap everything we were doing because they did it better than what we had planned.
Assassin's Creed team just quit. Like, look, we can't do the climb every surface. What?
Every surface.
That's why Ubisoft is in the situation they in right now.
Oh yeah,
and they
for
about
sure.
to lose the company because of this. because of their open world. A lot of people was trying to recreate that, and like people tired of that. People don't want that. I mean, it's been like the writing's been on the wall, but these people, Ubisoft is learning a lesson, and somebody's gonna buy them. I don't know who, but somebody's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
What's so weird about that is Nintendo just pulled a Nintendo. Like they're always known for taking older technology and making that shit look magnificent.
Right.
Like the Havoc engine is as old as 1999.
Yeah, because
that's crazy.
You saw
that was 97,
in the
right?
first Halo 2. You're like, oh, look at these ragdoll physics. They're great. Like Nintendo's like, we could do better than that.
But wasn't Havoc like 97? That was before.
Well, probably one of the first demos, but the first official release, like that you could use in SDK was 1999.
Okay, I thought I remember seeing it.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that logo.
Yeah, they've had
before I went to college because I went to college in '98.
So they bragged about it in like 97, 98 or so, and then they showed the ragdoll physics and how it looked great and all the other kind of stuff. That was the thing that it was known for, but it was way more than that. Like it was a whole physics environment that was in the SDK. And Nintendo was like, we could play with that. And at the time, I guess they didn't think the technology was there with Wii and what have you. But once they started digging into Wii U, they're like, hold up, we got way more shaders now to play with. Let's see what we can do with this. And then they start playing around. They're like, oh, we could build a whole game around fucking around with shaders and have it. And here we sit. And now in year of our Lord 2023, they're like, well, this is us perfecting Havoc to its most.
Well,
and other developers haven't even tried because they're steady trying to chase other resolutions instead of working on what they already had.
Well, that goes back to what Iwata said at GDC 2005. We didn't max nothing out.
No.
Nobody did. They were the only ones that were still playing around with it, which is why they didn't. Reason number like 5 why they didn't chase power. The first reason was people didn't buy the GameCube. So
I say this all the time. Instead of 1080p in 8th generation, imagine true ray tracing in 480p or 540p. And when I mean by true ray tracing, not this shit we're dealing with now with RT cores. I mean like there's no rasterization. There's no post-processing. Everything is raycast, and everything that you see looks like the Super Mario movie. So, and shout outs to y'all, by the way, for not spoiling that, because I was asking certain questions. Y'all didn't want to tell me the direct answers then at the time. I appreciate that, but I finally seen it now, and it's fucking amazing. So thank you for not spoiling the whole Cranky Kong situation.
Told you.
Yeah.
Told you.
But like when you see something like that is possible now in 480p with the technology that we have. But instead, we have chosen to chase 4K and all these other type
that
things
they can't keep, that they can't promise, that they make promises that they can't keep.
You can do real-time ray tracing right now with a lower resolution, but we choose to chase 8K now.
When you can't get 4K working properly,
you can't get 4K in every game. You can't get 1080p in every game.
Still, and
that's nuts.
And they've been saying that since 7th gen.
On PC, you can't get 1080p in every game.
We ain't even nowhere near getting 4K 120.
Oh, so, hell no!
No, we ain't nowhere near that. So I don't know.
We ain't even near.
I don't know what this 8K about. So.
We ain't even near 2K at 30 properly.
Well, here's the thing, because I've told
facts.
I've told people I got an email from Square Enix when Avengers dropped, when Marvel's Avengers dropped, and they said if you want to play this game at 60 frames and above, you have to. It's locked at 1080. If you play it at 4K, it's locked at 30. I'm like, you can't get mad and start clutching your pearls at Redfall when this has been happening on Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Marvel's Avengers before. They haven't been able to keep their word. That's why I'm like, the only reason why people bring up 8K is because Phil Harrison during that first Stadia Connect kept talking about 8K.
These CPUs can't hardly handle 4K.
Right.
Let's just stop playing.
And then let's stop listening to Phil Harrison. You see his track record. So
what is this 8K? Ain't nobody got 8K. 8K what?
Right.
I'm like,
nobody's utilizing 8K. Let's stop.
And can we be honest? Nobody's gonna pay for them games like that because half of y'all don't even want to go to the movies and watch stuff in IMAX.
Tell me about it.
Exactly.
I mean, look, people already
they're not gonna be $60.
People already complaining about the $10 increase now. What you think they're gonna be happy for a $20 increase in a little bit? That ain't a special edition.
I just saw 4D. It was $30 a ticket.
See.
That's crazy.
But we got people complaining about $70 for games now. Like, dog, y'all have, but you want 8K. You want all this. Okay, all right. Okay.
Y'all not gonna get all of that for a $500 console. You're not playing.
And
you're not gonna get that.
You want 8K on a bargain bin 4K TV that you bought on Black Friday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If you want all that ridiculous stuff, you better get a 5K and up PC, which a lot of people not gonna do.
No, they're not gonna do because they can't afford it.
Exactly. I mean, who gonna spend that money?
So to this day, like I have videos that are few and far between that are 1440p on YouTube, let alone 4K. So we're talking about video content. We're not even talking about games at this point. We're talking about video content. Is rare that you can even get 2K content on YouTube.
I would argue 1440p can look. Some would say I would think 1440p look just as good as 4K, depending on what you're playing.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's perfect. Like, LA, do you really need it better?
16:9, like
depending on what kind of TV you got, because people don't understand. There's a difference.
Two Apple displays that's crisp.
There's a difference between Samsung OLED and Vizio OLED.
Yeah,
Sony Bravia OLED. Logic OLED. There is a difference.
A high difference.
So, like, you crying about like
that China. That's a China TV. That high sense.
That high sense. Like, but there's a difference. Like, if you go into the store and you look at,
they watching what everything y'all doing.
So I mean, there's a very big difference when you start talking about different styles of OLED and everything. So yeah, that just not gonna happen. So. Yeah. That being said, Shadows, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. You ready to play that in 8K on PS5?
I'm ready to emulate that on Steam Deck. Apparently at 40 frames.
It's just gonna automatically look better on the PS5 because the system does the work.
So what I want to do is go on the internet, download the ROM, hack the ROM, break all kind of laws by breaking the encryption on the ROM and installing on the emulator, which also requires a console key, which also means breaking encryption. I mean, we're just breaking the law all kind of ways to do this, and then just so I can magically play it in 4K after I download the distributed art assets that somebody else created to upload it in another resolution and then play. In the unintended resolution.
Why you keep bringing up the law, man?
I don't know, man. I just, the way it's written, it just says that you can't reverse engineer encryption that says, hey, look, we have a copyrighted work and we put copy protection in place on this disk and this image. So if you reverse engineer it to take that image off, you owe us money?
Look,
I just go figure. I don't know. I mean, emulators aren't illegal though. It's just, are they usable if you have no games to play?
Paul Walker did it in the Fast and Furious. So
I mean, if somebody made a whole bunch of homebrew games, go emulate all you want.
But you're not playing those.
Yeah.
Can we
nobody-
shout out Nintendo's level of petty, making that nigga
Hey, look.
pay
For the rest
his
of his
life?
life.
That level of pettiness, I gotta say, like, it's like, yo, Nintendo really out here, like, they not,
That wasn't his
they
first
not with the
official,
games
right?
out here.
So their IPs are their livelihood. You are not.
Look at
That
Mario.
brother got to pay the rest of his life, though, y'all.
Right.
That's
Bro,
crazy.
How do you go into a court case like that? Like, how do you come out? How do you tell your people
Exactly.
when you come out? Like, so what? So did you win? Nah. Like, so how much are they asking for? Well, and then you tell them, and they're like, oh, okay, well, like, we got you, but it's for the rest of my life, though.
But
Like,
every
as
Y'all
long
know,
as long as I'm living.
That's kind of modern day slavery. Like, y'all know that, right?
and if people defended this dude, I'm like,
kind of mimicking modern day slavery a little bit. It's wild. It's
But
wild.
the thing is, this is what I tell people.
You know,
This is what I tell people. If you ever created an IP, you would do the same thing Nintendo doing. The
Mhm.
people that are
Facts.
complaining are people who don't create nothing, because the second somebody do it to them, I remember when Mr. T had a video with just an image and the dude got mad.
yep,
Mhm.
So
content strike.
yeah, like, don't sit there and pretend, because if you do that mess with Halo, watch how fast them lawyers from Microsoft be at your
yeah.
door. It ain't just Nintendo. I dare you to cop some Sony music. I dare you.
If my channel was paid, I would get content strikes all the time, because I would take a video from another paid YouTuber and then respond to them. So they would just send me a content strike. But since
Yep.
I'm not getting paid, there's
Yeah.
zero reason for them to do it.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Mario
to me.
not playing with y'all niggas.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's weird to me, because, like Gwen said, then just post it on the internet. But this is the thing that you don't see, right? They'll be like, hey, so I'm emulating all these games. Nintendo's gonna take this video down. Look at me emulate, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And then they specifically tell you everything but the process of them putting the game on there.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, so we're running this emulator here, and we're all right. Now we're gonna jump to, we already got the games on there. Like, nah, show exactly what you did. Show where you got the image from. Show how you pulled it. Show how you extracted everything. Show how you broke the encryption. They won't do that. They won't do that, and they know they can't. That's why they won't show you.
My personal favorite is the Xenoblade Chronicles X emulation. They never go past chapter 4.
No,
Because
because they
it
know
doesn't
it's
work.
broken.
It doesn't work after that.
And they don't show you how long it takes for
Takes
all the shaders to compile.
Yep.
They just show, like, look at Breath of the Wild in 8K doing blah blah blah. They don't show you the first 7 minutes of them walking around waiting for shaders to compile.
Yep.
But like you said, Jay, I mean, it comes down to, if you don't make anything, then you're not going to know the difference. I mean, we look at the Mario movie right now. You really think Nintendo's going to let you play around with something that can make them $1 billion in box office?
Hell no. Do that mess with Disney if you bad. Play with Disney.
No, they ain't gonna never touch that.
No,
you know
play
better
with
than
Disney.
that.
Play with Mickey.
Mickey
Go play
Mouse
with Mickey.
got that pimp hand. The pimp hand is strong.
Right.
Yeah.
On the right side.
And usually it's for a reason. Like AM2R went down because Samus Returns was right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
The thing about that one, that dude even said, "Look, stop defending me."
Yeah.
He straight up told him, and people still like, "Well, they should hire him." He was like, "No, they shouldn't."
And I was just about to say that too,
Yeah,
because it happened one time. It happened one time. Oh, well, somebody got caught hacking and then they got offered a job. That doesn't mean it's going to happen every time.
To everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's a specific reason why
because
they hired
Metroid 5 happened.
Yeah. Yeah, because they were working on it. They just didn't tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
So
they're like, Samus Returns, Metroid Dread, we're done.
Yeah. So you can't, no, it's their property. It's their IP. Just because you're a fan does not mean you get to take their stuff and act like it's yours.
Right.
It ain't yours.
I mean, that should be
Dark Void-
obvious, right?
Dark Void
No,
talking
it's
about the
not.
dude that was taking out his videos.
Oh,
Dark Void-
this guy. Oh.
He's trying to sell those videos though.
Yeah,
And he's trying to sell his save file or his custom save files.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Like, you can't make bread off this.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. It's
That's
their
how people
content.
get in trouble. They're trying to make money.
Hold on. So what's this? He said modding Breath of the Wild. What happened?
Yes, he's trying to sell videos of him modding it and sell his mods.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You a bold somebody with that one, like
yeah. He told me.
wow.
I didn't
Damn,
know it was
all
like that.
I'm just
I think
a fan.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all I'm like, man. That I'm just a fan excuse gets old. Because
Very.
Because that's what I'm saying. But my thing is, why aren't you doing this with Halo? Why ain't you doing this with God of War? Why ain't anybody doing this with, you know what I'm saying? Like they only want to
only Nintendo games.
I'm a fan. Trash. I'm not trying to sell this. I'm a fan. I'm not trying to sell this. And if I did, I would expect that I would get a cease and desist if I tried to make money off of it.
Yes. Do that. See how fast Ed Boon get on that doggone phone with his lawyers.
Man, real quick. Ed Boon, like, what you doing? And then you put Sonic on there too. We ain't got a contract with Sonic. We selling you. We're selling you out. We're gonna send Sega to your house. We ain't gonna sue you directly.
Right. And Wilton, you got a point too, because that one's getting old real fast. Like whether it's a feature or the game itself. Like, oh, well, if Nintendo just allowed me to buy it, they did. They had it up there for years for you to buy and keep. If you didn't buy it and or sold it, then that's your fault. Yeah. But they need to make it current so I can buy it again. Stop.
No. Because you were gonna buy it, you bought it then. Yeah.
Exactly. Y'all just entitled at this point.
Yeah. And MVG is always on the because he's an emulation guy.
Your buddy.
He built programmed Shantae for Switch. So he's going to support any emulation in any way, shape, or form until you tell him, hey, you know what you're doing is breaking the fucking law. If you didn't get license to do what you do for the Shantae port, your ass would be getting
he would have been in jail. He would have been in
prison. Because Matt Casamassina's family would be like, what are you doing, bro?
Right.
Yep. Because you're taking money out of their pocket. That's like it's funny when you sit up and you see the people defend it and you're like, dude, all right, make something then. Because I want to see how fast, me being a fan, would you have your lawyers on the phone calling me?
Right. Exactly. Because I mean, you look at some developers that say, hey, look, we took inspiration from this game we played years ago, but they make their own IP.
Yep. Axiom Verge, the perfect example, Axiom Verge.
Like the Xbox game, Will of the Wisp and the first game, like they make it a point to say, hey, look, Nintendo is our foundation for building all this.
Yes.
Put a little baby Triforce in the game to show you, hey, look, Nintendo is our inspiration. And that's it. They don't even touch on it anymore after that. They just say, hey, look, this is our inspiration and this is our spiritual whatever, because we like platformers because of Nintendo. And that's it. Like they don't have to like put POW blocks and all this other kind of foolishness. They don't have to do that. Build a brand new game and then go from there. Like Nintendo has the physics down, packed in 2D, and nobody has really copied that accurately yet. And honestly, I think the attempts at trying to copy it has made other unique things that are great. Like I love the way Celeste works. Like it has its own way of physics. Like their goal was to attempt to copy what Mario had, but they found some magic in trying to copy it. They found this in between that's great, and I just appreciate those attempts and them trying to say, hey, pause. Like we didn't get there exactly, but what we got is great too. So we'll work with that, and we have an explanation of why we went here for a reason. And we'll design our game around that. So,
and that's how you do it.
Yeah, that's how you do
it. You don't bite the game itself and then pretend like, oh, they're attacking me because no, dude.
Hey, it's free advertisement. That's what they're advertising for Nintendo. Okay.
Okay.
Nintendo should be thankful that they ripped their game and showed it off.
Yeah.
Like, people know about it.
Right.
It's that weird thing where they figured out this Mario physics that's not realistic, but it's insanely fun to play. So it's hard to emulate because usually all the simulations you try to do are based around realistic motion capture and stuff like that, and so people can't figure out why it works. Nintendo did this thinking just playing around with pixels, and you're trying to emulate it with wireframe models and motion capture. It doesn't work that way. So
they came up with Splatoon. You got to be creative. You can't
or extremely high.
One or the other. Possibly both.
Probably both, and that's it. They were definitely consuming the mushrooms then at that time.
Because there's no way. Look,
on them narcotics.
Splatoon should not work. Like Splatoon as a game should not work. It should not be popular.
It shouldn't. It really
shouldn't be. but it is, and it's addictive.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo Switch Sports should not work. You shouldn't like
True.
it,
But it does.
but it does.
I think Splatoon is one of those rare scenarios where the concept is so great that even if Nintendo didn't publish it, it still would have been successful.
Yeah.
Because that concept is just
But
so, I don't know what it is about it.
It's Nintendo.
It's
Like
Nintendo.
Sunset,
If you put that on,
remember we said when Sunset Overdrive came out, like this,
it would have killed.
Nintendo.
It should have been a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Because
Like-
this is not for that base.
No,
I
not
agree
at
with
all.
that.
Which is
Yeah, I
crazy
didn't even
because
think
there's
about
adult
that.
content
Yeah.
in Sunset Overdrive, but it's a Nintendo game.
But the funny thing about it, because I had a discussion with somebody, it was like, well, Nintendo doesn't do mature titles. I'm like, no more heroes.
Yeah.
Like, no more heroes.
Oh no!
Like-
Look, if people really want the truth, you want a Nintendo mature title, look at Metroid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I mean, it gets dark.
Look at Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
That game is
Actually,
But
look at Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. It's
Oh,
the
no.
themes in those games.
The darkest of all the Zelda games to me is Wind Waker still.
Wind Waker.
it's just they don't put it in your face. Like
Yeah.
people want it. Like they want this
That's
whole.
what I keep telling people.
Yeah, they just want it in their
Look,
face.
when
It's
you,
dark
when you
and,
go to Hyrule for the first time in Wind Waker, like that shit is dark, bro. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
When you
There's
find-
no way
when you find out what they did.
and what they did to Ganon, like bro, like that's dark.
Yeah.
I don't know how else. Like that's probably the darkest story I think in the timeline. Honestly,
Well, the darkest story in the timeline is what happened to that shaker under that in that well.
well,
And I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah,
that's beyond.
That-
That's
dark.
again.
yeah.
That's why I said Ocarina of Time first, because
That wasn't no jail, bro.
Yeah, that was not.
That wasn't no jail,
that was definitely a dungeon,
Yeah.
like the literal version of a dungeon.
I mean, like you go into the Shadow Temple and you go into the torture room.
Yeah.
You have to go in there.
yeah, Shadow Temple is something else.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't the only one paying attention to Ocarina. That there was blood splatters everywhere.
There was blood
Everywhere.
splatter.
At certain places.
Yeah,
There was
everywhere.
It was like
There was handcuffs
walking
and
through a horror
chains.
movie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's literally a horror movie. It's
Yeah.
and when you go down to the bottom of the well, that thing that's down there.
Yeah.
Don't be Congo. Wait,
You-
Yeah.
That was on N64, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I remember
Mm-hmm.
that. I was like, what? What's Nintendo got blood on it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gore,
And this is
all
this
that.
is
forgot all
a game
about
rated
that,
for
but yeah, you're right.
kids.
Yeah.
And this is a game rated for kids.
Yeah.
And let me say, like, how did that pass the ESRB?
There's no way they played all the
They
way
didn't
through the
play
game because
They didn't pay no
look-
attention.
they
They,
looked at-
and they just said, "Oh, it's Nintendo. It's okay."
yeah.
They got to like the first hour of the game, and it's like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
The sad part
This is a
is,
kid's game.
this is why I almost got a teen rating because of the chants in the Fire Temple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
almost got a teen rating.
Yeah.
Which they ended up having to take out.
What did the chant sound? What did it sound?
It
It was,
was
just
it was a
old like
Muslim.
Indian war chants. or
Well, no, it was
whatever.
Oh,
the
okay,
first one.
okay.
No, the first one was a Muslim chant.
It was Muslim.
The
Muslim
very
chant,
first one was a
sorry.
Muslim chant because it was in the Fire Temple and it was in the Spirit Colossus.
Spirit Temple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
I
Yeah.
can see how that could be offensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like,
Easily.
'cause if you have the
Yeah.
first print, you have it.
Especially in 1996.
Yeah,
For real.
if you have the first print of Ocarina of Time, you actually have that. If you
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't,
if you have I think it's the first and second print because you got the gold cartridge and the gray cartridge.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
golden
the Great
Gate
Cards had it
But
too.
one
If you
point-
bought them that first year,
Yeah, but
Mhm.
if you have, I think what is it, version 1.1 or 1.1, 1.2 is the one where they changed it.
It's out of that one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
1.1 is where they took it out.
Yeah, so 1.2 is when they had the full change. So that's
and
the
it's
one you
completely
get now.
gone in the GameCube versions for that same
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, they
Wrong.
well that was after 9/11.
They
That
were
wasn't
wrong.
that was not flying after 9/11. So
yeah.
yeah, but like the thing about Wind Waker was because it was cartoony. Nobody. That's
Nobody
how.
stood for it.
That's the other reason I know
That's how
nobody
they get
plays
away with it.
because when they go to the sage and you find out Ganon ripped their souls out their body and destroyed their body, so they technically wasn't dead, but they couldn't pass on.
Sheesh.
Like
Mhm.
what?
Permanent purgatory.
Like
Getting an asshole, bro.
this supposed to
Right.
be E10,
That
but
nigga ain't
then
shit, right?
but then-
But he an asshole because they did him wrong.
yeah,
though.
but
True.
then like when you
True.
then when
Well,
you
okay,
get to the
you know what? Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So when you get to the end of the game where you fight the puppet and you see him, he's talking to you about what happened to him. You're like, you ain't exactly wrong.
Nah.
Right.
Then you get to find out that the aliens was racist. And I'm like, yeah, dang.
So who's the real enemy? Like, is
What happened?
Is Zelda the true enemy?
Like you hated killing him at the end of Wind Waker. Like you
wasn't
felt
wrong.
every word he said.
Yeah, he was a king. He had to look after his people, and these people would not help. And they basically flaunted it in his face, and he was like, "Oh, I'm about that life." So
it basically is Link and Zelda. You are just stuck in a situation where you have to stop him. Yeah. It's not that you want to stop him; you have to stop him
because he too far gone.
Damn.
But yeah, like
Wind Waker, you play Wind Waker like somehow though.
Like, he said break bread.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when you play Wind Waker, when you play Wind Waker, it has that cartoony look to it. So you're like, hey, don't know, man. This is great for children.
Right.
Look, maybe they will break bread in Tears of the Kingdom because I'm like Demise is the ultimate bad guy. We'll see what happens.
Right. Yeah, because I'm sorry that trailer.
Bro, Samurai Ganon, stop.
I'm just saying.
Everybody waiting for that.
The scene in there where he's talking about you witness the return of a king. I'm like, are you talking to Demise? Because Demise about to pimp slap you if you talking to him like that.
But you better have Groose and everybody else on your team.
I'm really trying to see this samurai version of Ganon just like try and swole up on Demise. And like he brings a full hand to his neck, and Demise is like, "You serious?"
Yeah.
You're like, really?
And then he really grabs him right back, and he's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's like the son trying to walk up to the daddy and get big.
Right.
He's like, you realize I gave you your power, right? That's cute. That's so cute.
Like, so, trying to get folded.
But I do have a theory about that though, because technically Demise didn't give Ganon his power. He got his power from what's her name? Fiore?
Den.
Yeah.
Den is the one.
Den's power.
Yeah, Ganon gets his power technically. Well, Demise perverted Den's power.
Yeah.
There's a way that can be fixed.
Possibly, but then that would mean that what I'm assuming then at this point is that the goddesses, their power was not equal to Demise's.
Well, so that was
already needed all three of them to at least stalemate.
I mean that was the case at the beginning of Skyward Sword. That's why Holly had to come down.
Yeah,
that's why Holly had to use the first Link as a freaking basically as bait, so she could get the rest of the Highlands out of there. Because she basically used him as bait, and he fought Demise head up, 1v1, and held him off. I don't know. I would love to see that part, but they never. That
is the Link. That is the Link I want to meet. The one that wore the red scarf. I want to find that Link.
So they're kind of alluding to say that first Link was actually Ganon. So I don't know how.
No. That first Link died.
The first Link died.
I know he got killed, but I thought that was an iteration of Ganon.
No.
He was just a crazy human that loved to fight.
But he had red hair. But then the first Link had red hair.
The first Link we met had red hair, but the first Link was blonde.
Yeah, the very first Link, they don't call him Link. They just call him I forgot what they call him. They didn't call him
the hero.
Yeah, hero.
He was literally just the hero.
Because he's basically
that's the name.
He's basically Kimpachi.
Is that from Zelda 2?
No, that's
got the red hair.
Zelda 1. He had red hair.
Zelda 1?
Yeah.
He is Hylia's champion.
Yeah. Because
I only beat 2 Zelda games my whole.
Hey, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, Pimp.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's a whole mess. Because like when you find out the very first iteration of him is he's basically Kimpachi. He just loves to fight. So they basically had to change him up because he was just beating and killing people. If you challenged him, you was gonna die. So
my favorite one is Link to the Past. Like that's like that Zelda Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. That's my shit right there.
Yeah, because that link was
I
was
love
crazy.
that. I beat that game. I can't tell you how many times.
I love the fact
Great
that
game.
like the way they keep the Legend of Zelda fresh is every iteration of Link and Zelda is different from the one that came before. So like Twilight Princess Link is violent.
Well, I like that they give you a loose relationship between them too. They're like, well, you're the ultra descendant of the original whatever, and they kind of tell you how long it's been since the last couple of Link and Zeldas or whatever.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I like
cool
about
how
it
they
too.
do that.
Yeah, because that's why I laughed when they said DLC. But I just laughed at that. But
well, you know, the power of the Switch means I just can't.
It looks the same.
You know, developers don't have to program games. You just need more power, and you press go, and the game generates itself.
Oh, that's the articles I've been seeing. They've been trying to say, oh, well, there's no innovation because it's a 5+ year old console. Is that what they're trying to say?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about it was when Aonuma does the 13-minute presentation, all you have to do is look up.
Innovation.
Again, Nintendo's like, hold my beer.
It's not about the tech; it's about the story with Zelda, right?
Yeah, it's never been like
it's never been about tech.
We
like
can't.
Yeah, because I remember telling somebody, because they were like, well, if it was on if it was on PS5, it would look better. I'm like, dude, there's a difference between graphics and art style.
Yeah, exactly.
Legend of Zelda, Xenoblade, that's a different art style. It's not gonna.
I would just say, not even graphics and art style, but design.
Yep.
So, like, you can build a massively huge game regardless of how it looks.
Yeah.
It's how you design the game and how you build your engine to work with the hardware you're targeted for. If you know you have this console as the target console, you know all the limitations and pluses and minuses of it. So there's no disagreements about, hey, this part of the engine will work here and this part of the engine will work here. The problem is we have publishers saying, well, no, we're not going to pay for that. So developers are like, well, we have this nebulous engine out here that works for PC, shoehorn it everywhere. It doesn't fit for Switch. Okay, then we just ain't going to do it.
Well, what I'm saying is in regards to like Xenoblade and Zelda is they go to a completely different art style. So even if you try to put it on, it's not gonna look any different,
right?
Because like Legend of Zelda is a cell shade art style.
Yeah,
but I could play it in 4K. It's still gonna look.
It's still gonna look the same.
They're gonna look the same art style. Like
it's still gonna be just as timeless as it was in 480p.
Yeah, it's an art style. It's an art style design choice. It's not. You're not gonna get a realistic. They're not.
But look at my Breath of the Wild in 8K.
I don't care.
Like 4 times Breath of the Wild in 720p.
Right.
I don't know what else to tell you.
I like the whole fact of they've, there's not much. They squeezed all the juice out of the Switch. They've squeezed all everything that they possibly could.
They ain't even tried.
Like
ain't even tried.
Are you? Did you not see the Tears of the Kingdom stuff? Like, do you not see how far you can go up there? Did you not pay attention?
How do they not understand Nintendo fans at this point?
I don't know, man.
Even saying that, it's like nobody like Nintendo fans don't care about that. That's not even what it's about.
Like you're having fun.
It's more so about the console than the game.
Well, hold on. I have an argument against that though, because originally when we first saw Tears of the Kingdom, before they gave us the proper name for it, and they saw cumulus clouds, they thought it was in a different machine.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Boy, that was it was definitely.
I remember that.
They thought it was a next generation platform when they first saw it. Like, oh, look at how you're able to go so high in the sky. Oh yeah. You think you can't do that on the same platform?
but now all of a sudden, oh no, they didn't really change anything. So at first they changed enough to fool you to think it was a different platform, but now they didn't change enough of it.
Mm-hmm.
IGN, I'll name names. IGN.
I mean, we already knew who that was.
Yeah. Like, and Wilton, you are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime Remastered killed all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's just a remake. That's a remake. Existing code.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, RJ is correct. Like, people just don't want to play on Nintendo hardware, and that's just what it is. I mean, they love the games, they love how they play. It's just they don't want to play on the hardware.
I mean, we started with the Wii U. Like, how many games keep getting like? Why won't they? Why won't they port over Twilight Princess and Wind Waker?
And it's an image thing. It's not a technical thing.
Oh no, it's an image thing for sure.
If you get into the technical conversation, all the excuses become bullshit. They're like, oh well, it can't do so and so and so and so, and I'm like, are you sure?
Why?
Well,
why can't it?
It can't do so and so and so and so. It can't do this in so many frames. I'm like,
how do you know?
I know what you need for a 1080p frame buffer, and the Switch has that. The Wii U had that. So, what you're saying is bullshit.
According to my sources, and my sources is named Jim Ryan, it can't run.
Right. You can't run on there because Jim Ryan paid for it not to.
Yeah.
If we don't have Call of Duty, will the company will go down?
People choose different reasons for not supporting a platform, usually for business reasons.
Correct.
Usually, yeah.
Like, think about it.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Skyrim showed up on Switch. Prior to that, the only game they had done for a Nintendo platform was Where's Waldo on the NES. It wasn't because of technical reasons. It was because of business reasons. Grand Theft Auto hadn't really been on the Nintendo Switch home console because of shit that happened with Space Station Silicon Valley. It had nothing to do with, can the GameCube really run the Grand Theft Auto game? Like, get the fuck out of here. The PS2 was trash compared to GameCube.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember the video for that developer in the very beginning stages of the Switch that was saying they couldn't port their game over because it lacked enough buttons. I was like, but doesn't it have the same amount of buttons as the rest of the controllers?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was like, wow, just pulling stuff
also
out your ass at this
Bluetooth.
point.
Add your own controller and keep it moving. I don't.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Resident Evil on GameCube. I'm like, wait a minute, they put it out like that?
Yeah.
I remember when it first dropped. I was like,
Resident Evil 4. Matter of fact, Resident Evil 4 is the best version of Resident Evil 4 to me is still the Wii version because of the doggone Wii remote and chuck.
Yeah, so the Wii version is the GameCube version with all the extra PS2 bonuses.
Yeah.
But they did them in real time. So on the PS2, you got extra cutscenes and stuff like that, but they weren't real time. They were pre-recorded. So whatever outfit you had on didn't show up in that cutscene because the PS2 couldn't do that in real time. So you watched the video. But in the Wii version, they're like, well, we'll just do this cutscene. We'll add you. Here you go. You have it. Bonus. Go forth and be great.
Yeah, but that was the thing. Like a lot of those games, like if they have something, if you ever see anything that says RE Engine on it, Capcom can bring that thing to Switch. Monster Hunter Rise is a proof of that.
Has anybody? I'm guessing. Well, I know Jay has played it, but has anybody else on this podcast played Black Ops 2 on Wii U?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Have you played it online?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you play it online using a gamepad and another controller?
Yeah.
So you can play 2 players against other people online. One person is playing on the TV screen. Another person is playing simultaneously on the gamepad. The Wii U then at the time is drawing a 720p display in addition to a 480p display on the gamepad at the same time, playing online with 2 separate people playing at the same time.
Yep.
At the
Microsoft knew that.
At the same time.
And that's with paltry graphics, 32 gigs of internal storage.
But then nobody want to see nobody that was playing with a Wii remote and chuck online.
No, not even close.
And nobody want to see that.
CPU from 1999.
I don't know.
But on launch day, Call of Duty could do that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, conversely, you have the Nintendo Switch, which uses Nuon now for SIMD. So now, instead of on the Wii U having to rewrite how you're going to do floating point calculations on the CPU, typically on the Wii U, you have to write those on the GPU. You don't have to do that on Switch. You just rewrite them in a different configuration, and they work directly on the CPU, and then the GPU is able to do extra stuff on top of that. Yet there's no Call of Duty game. Switch is only 720p. I just
look. Just
draw what conclusion you will. There's only one display for Switch. One.
The only thing I can say is like the people who got mad at us for the Xbox developer thing that called the Sony fanboys. Jim Ryan just told us the reason why I couldn't run on Switch. I don't know why we sit up here conversing about this. Jim Ryan told us why.
Hell, what's the name said why? Cliff Brzezinski said it why. He said we can't compete with Nintendo on their own hardware. He said it out loud.
Oh yeah,
on the Game Trailers interview.
He tried to drop a game. What was it? He tried to drop a game around a Mario game. I'm like, dude, you stupid.
What was that? Lawbreakers? He was trying to do that with?
I think that was. I'm like, bro,
what are you doing?
Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't do that. Like, look, Pokemon is the only other game that I know that went right at Call of Duty and said, I don't care.
Because it can do that.
Yeah.
You literally take the opposites. Hey, I'm over here shooting and killing stuff. Hey, I'm over here fighting with little baby monsters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wash you. Like that's
and the sad thing about it was grown adults going about Pokemon. It wasn't little kids. It was grown adults.
So the last time I saw a third party beat Nintendo during a holiday launch was Skyward Sword. But they kind of had help though, because you would go to a retailer and there'd be one copy of Skyward Sword, and all across the entire store was Skyrim, right? And all people were talking about was Skyrim then at the time. As broken as that game was,
especially on PlayStation,
and they weren't talking about Skyward Sword with any type of positive reasoning at all.
Nemesis.
Well, the other thing too is like that, because I remember getting it that week, and the GameStop that I went to only had it if you pre-ordered it. Which to me made no sense. And I asked them, they were like, our company wouldn't give us any more. I'm like, wait a minute, what? So there was a bunch of printed copies of Skyward Sword, but GameStop themselves wouldn't give it.
But we all lived through that era of like both Wii and Wii U, to where like Nintendo stuff was in the back of the store and had like
one little corner.
There was one copy. There was one copy of Modern Warfare Reflex Edition. It was all the way in the back of the store, and you try to go get it, and it's like, oh, I didn't even know this was here. Oh my God, I don't know. Like, bro, it's there. Like, can I get that copy? Like one.
Like I was standing next to grandparents at the time, trying to get a GameStop employee to explain the Wii U to him, and he acted like he had no clue what the hell it was. And then he diverted them into PlayStation. From there.
But of course, he knew what it was.
He knew what it was.
Because even your boy Sessler knew what it was, but he still pretended as if Sandstorm, you on my podcast. You putted the video out perfect.
In Sessler's defense, he's not a gamer.
Man, wow. That man in real time was like, I don't know what the Switch is. I'm like, I can't be making this up. I saw this. I saw this, and then I go to multiple Wii U events then at the time in the United States or whatever, right? And the first thing they tell you is this is a new console from Nintendo, right? This is the successor to Wii. Some of them will actually say, hey, this is a successor to Wii. This is the new system or whatever. And you got press in 2011 saying, I don't know what this is. Blah, blah, blah. Is it an add-on to the Wii? I don't know what.
My man was going so hard, bro.
I'm like, going so hard. Did we watch the same presentation? Because Reggie sat up there and he's like, "Hey, this is the new brand, Unreal Engine 3 thing right here with this bird landing on top of this branch that clearly couldn't have been done on Wii. This is an HD. Look at this." Like,
well, the other thing too was the year before you had Riticello, who was over Activision at the time. No, EA at the time.
Yeah.
You had, it wasn't Kodak. It was the guy before Kodak.
Kodak was with Dietrich back in 3DO days. Like, that's just,
so it was the guy that was over Activision. They all came on, and Ubisoft. They all came on at E3 2011 on stage with Iwata and Reggie and talked about how this was going to change everything. 2012 E3, we got anonymous EA senior developer says the Wii U is garbage. We have anonymous this guy from some Western developer says that Wii U can't run these types of games, and you're like, wait, what? Like just the year before, y'all were hailing it as, this is going to be a game changer for everybody. Asynchronous gaming is where it's going to be at.
Hold on. Disclaimer. Every last one of those people that made those statements had to retract said statements.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it live because most of them that said it live, they did not have to retract it. Like they retracted it, but they did it on their blog. They didn't go back to IGN. They didn't go back to game trailers with Jeff Keighley and your favorite person, Michael Pachter.
No, IGN updated their stories to say those statements were retracted in 2015.
Yeah, I'm saying like most of them went to their blogs and they didn't do it publicly like they did it when they was doing the
when they were yelling.
Yeah, when they were yelling.
I mean, look, if you can say the lie with your chest, then you need to say the retraction with your chest too.
Yeah,
but
they didn't do that,
man. It's just.
And I always say I agree with RJH. It was like how people think that an add-on for the Wii is going to make your games go HD.
Yeah, it was so stupid. Like,
but when you got a concerted effort to do misinformation, I mean,
yeah, that's true.
That was one of the biggest, like, and then that was right around the time of the whole of the whole Gershman Gate situation, right?
Yep.
And then after the Gershman Gate situation, then you had the Game Journal Pros thing, right? And then they tried to make it all about, oh, well, they are abusing this girl and they're anti-feminism and all this, and they're right wing. What were they originally complaining?
The whole Gamergate thing.
Yeah.
What were they originally complaining about? They were complaining about game publishers using private email channels to literally collude and talk about what stories they were going to publish to push narrative.
Yep.
Because that was around the time it was Zoe Quinn, because her freaking game Depression Quest got all these rave reviews. That game, that crap is crap.
But talking about the fact that they colluded with that situation, or that one of the people that was involved with that was in a relationship with Zoe Quinn, now we got to push that whole scenario out of the window because that's all sexist now.
Yep.
That's all right now.
Yeah, no. It was because
have nothing to do with politics at all. It's like, bro, y'all shouldn't be talking like this.
They shouldn't. Yeah.
It was because and I remember that situation. It was because the dude that she cheated on was the one that revealed all the information. He took all like the private messages and put them out because she was messing with like 5 different dudes.
Nobody cares
that were all gaming related.
Nobody cares. We want to know why all of a sudden you got glowing reviews out of nowhere.
Well, she was getting glowing reviews because she was glowing on them. Yeah. Apparently.
We care about that. We care about why Jeff Gershman got fired. We care about why all of a sudden all this Wii U hate came out of nowhere, because magically EA was also spitting the same hate to the point where your boy from Platinum Games had to call people out in the middle of a talk.
Yeah, so it was that Inaba. Inaba did that.
No, the American guy that went to Japan. What is his name? JP Kellens.
Yeah.
So he was doing a talk, and there were some EA guys in the background, and they were talking shit about Bayonetta because Nintendo was publishing it. And they're like, well, we just like the Wii U is trash, and we just really think Bayonetta should just be everywhere or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's like, where are you from?
But Nintendo published it. Nintendo paid for
it. And he's like, well, Bayonetta wouldn't exist without Nintendo. So if you got any problems with that, then you need to take it out. You need to take it out with Nintendo.
Yeah, because that's because the week after that, Kami was like, look, we went to Microsoft and we went to Sony, and they said no.
They said no.
So Nintendo was the only one that said yes.
And so and then at that time, so now you have a timeline suggesting that not only were game journalists in the mix, you had individual publishers in the mix. And if game journalists didn't say what the game publishers want to pay the game sites bills, they were firing individual journalists. And if you were in the mix, you had to follow a certain standard. And that standard was, at the time, we don't like Nintendo because we want third parties to run the industry and not first party. And we know that Microsoft and Sony don't really care about that as first parties themselves. They're like, third parties, do what you want. We don't care. We'll pay you. We'll help advertise your games, even though you're a third party publisher and that's your job. Please do what you want. Nintendo's like, you got a licensing fee. You pay that.
Yeah.
You want to be on our platform with our hit first party games? Pay that licensing fee. You want us to advertise your games? For a price. For a price. Come on back, Square. Come crawling to us and we'll help advertise your games somewhat. But that's a thing that none of that is ever talked about in the ether to this day. And you still see little things like I watched a video today where like it was so painful for IGN to admit that, yeah, if you want a handheld console, Switch is the obvious choice.
Yeah, it is.
But we're going to make this video not including Switch and talk about all these other consoles. I mean, let me hold up the Steam Deck. Let's talk about the Steam Deck for a while. Let's talk about the Aya Neo 2 and 2 Plus and all these other things because we're talking about handhelds. And handhelds are really popular, but none of these are. So why are you talking about them again? It's almost like you're trying to build competitors for the thing you know that's dominating, but yet you don't want to admit the thing that's dominating is dominating. It almost hurt for you to say it.
I mean, they can't. I guess the Sony checks is like drying up. I mean, ever since Greg the Sony checks probably been drying up lately. You know.
I mean, but it's okay to say.
I mean, they especially drying up because of that lawsuit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay to say that PS4 was a runaway success. It's the first time that quote unquote the most powerful hardware ran the gamut throughout a generation. I mean, you had help because y'all killed Wii U early on. But with that happening, PS4 took it up and ran with it, right?
But it also messed around and hurt the majority of gaming because you can't have, like, I know people don't like Phil Spencer, and I know they don't like Shuhei Yoshida, but they were not lying when they're like, no, y'all need to stop this console war BS because this ain't helping.
Yeah.
Now, console wars helps gaming media, but it doesn't help the gaming industry. And we find that out because IGN found that out the hard way because now they're begging Nintendo to come back and give them stuff like, no,
we good.
No directs, we good.
No, we good.
And now all the other publishers are like, we'll do directs too.
Yep. That's why I'm like,
they kind of sold themselves down this river.
Yeah, I don't think they should have abandoned ESA though. They kind of screwed. Like ESA is one of the few industry standards in the industry at all. Everything else they just copied.
Well, I mean, you kind of saw it coming though.
Yeah.
If you've been paying attention. I don't even know what other way to say it. I mean, you had to see it coming.
Well,
in
2013, Nintendo can't compete, so they're doing their own thing. And I'm like,
that to me said that they knew what was the writing was on the wall, and they were trying to find a way to stop it as soon as possible. It just did not work.
Yeah, it was just strange to me. Like Nintendo was like, "Oh, so y'all gonna do this to us? Y'all really go 2 years in a row? Y'all gonna shit on us? Okay, cool. We'll do our own shit. We're doing our own shit and we're out. No, we're not playing anymore. We're not playing. We're gonna do our own thing. People follow us. They love our franchise and what we do. What franchise do you have at IGN? What franchise do you have at GameSpot? Who is really knocking down your door every day trying to play your brand new game? So we'll do our own YouTube channel. We'll do our own Twitch streams. And we'll just deliver them out to the millions of masses that you guys do not have as unique clicks and subscribers. You only have thousands.
That's one thing I will say. Like Brandon hit the nail on the head. Nintendo's level of petty has just been amazing to watch in the last 20 years.
Extreme petty.
Yeah, it has been. But it also the rest also came from all those mistranslations, those intentional mistranslations.
And why they
incorrect quotes.
Why they got tired of it.
To the point Namco was mad. They're like, look, we don't know how the Wii U CPU works. This is our first time using this one. This one in particular has 3 cores, and we don't know how SIMD works on it. So you mistranslated to it's weak, we can't do blah, blah, blah. We don't like that. Please retract that statement. And they're like, yeah, we'll do it 2 months later. Like Hirochi Warriors 3 Hyper, and I'm like, but Ninja Gaiden came out on that same platform. The end of a lot of Wii U games on that same. Xenoblade Chronicles X exists, people.
Yeah, that you begging to come to Switch, by the way.
Yeah.
Again, if the console was bad, then the games would have to be bad too because the games were developed around the console.
But the CPU was weak, mind you. The CPU was weak, mind you. But we want this game with 0 loads that has one of the largest game masses in gaming history. We want that weak CPU. We want that game for that weak CPU to be on Switch. We want it so bad. We emulate it all the time on PC and CMU.
Dolphin.
Yeah, we emulate all the way up to Chapter 4, and then we don't show you after Chapter 4.
Yeah,
because shaders.
Reasons. I mean, yeah. But I actually beat the game on the actual Wii U that I own. I mean, I bought it for my son. I ain't buy it for me.
Yeah,
I bought it for my son.
That's just
funny to me because excuses.
I hate feeling like I'm the only person that noticed it. I know everybody here has noticed it, right? But I feel like I'm shouting into an echo chamber because everybody's like, "No, the Wii U was just weak, and that's why nobody ever." It just never really. And I'm like, bro, like, no, like people didn't want to support.
If I hear that crap again, somebody tell me the Wii U is weak, but they.
Oh goddamn!
Oh dang!
Oh god!
Hey, they took him out of here.
Words. You said the wrong words.
Took him up out of here.
Hey man, Jim Ryan.
You said the wrong words, bro. They had to kick you.
Got Andre all the way up out of here.
I know.
They yeeted me, man. They yeeted me.
They yeeted you.
You had to go. You was about to speak.
All right, so I'm going to repeat it again. If y'all want to repeat and run with that bull crap and say it again, say the Wii U is weak, and then have games on the 360 or PS3 that could have been on it. And that better resolution. Some games that were on there had better resolutions on the weaker platforms.
Remember,
for no reason at all.
Remember, I'll say this again. Remember, the entire reason for Wii U was the fact that people were saying that 360 and PS3 games were incompatible with being ported to Wii.
Yeah.
That was the entire reason. So if you had a 360 or a PS3 game that was insanely popular, there was zero reason for you not to be able to bring it to Wii U. Yet the first thing they try to say is that you couldn't do
that. I was wondering where that was coming from.
Yeah, sorry, that was me. My boy. No. It's they're doing a versus. We do this like once every month, so they're in like versus mode. My bad, everybody. I am sorry.
Nothing wrong with
that. So I play the judge. That's why I'm. Yeah. That was my bad. My bad, Weldon.
Oh man, yeah, that was. We kind of went off on a tangent there.
Oh, sorry, yeah, man. That and anti-Nintendo rant. I do those a lot. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So, last thing we're gonna talk about. Future Redeem drops on Tuesday.
You said what drops on Tuesday?
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed.
Oh, yeah.
So, one trailer we got, and I hate when Nintendo does this, and y'all know that. Why? I'm glad I went on and bought it, bought the expansion thing, because I'm like, I thought this was coming out in July. No, it's coming out Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wedged in between. I said it to Sandstorm on the Shadowcat. I said, why the hell they do this? And then you got to go and hunt for the video they just put out because they wedged it in between all the indie stuff. So you got to go on Nintendo's YouTube channel and go hunt for it.
Yeah. So what I want to do, if you guys haven't seen it, gonna play it because it's not as long as the It's not as long as the Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom was 4 minutes. This is like 2.5 minutes. So let me do this. And for some reason they haven't shown the physical, but I will say this: if they do a physical, Shadow, please go and pick it up this time.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick it up. Like, yeah, because I spent an extra $30 for a tourner this time. I shouldn't have done it, but I went ahead and got it because if not, I wasn't gonna get it at all. So yeah, I definitely, if they do
make
physical, I'm
sure
gonna get it.
just make sure you get it because
I haven't picked it up yet. How much is the DLC?
it's $29.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ain't that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll go ahead.
If you didn't buy it, because I went on and did it when the game first dropped. All right, so here we go.
Don't play that, please. Don't. My heart.
Yes.
Don't.
Yes.
Niall, Granddad.
Hey, look, it's not Xenoblade if you're not seeing a random death.
Take care of Niall, the future. Granddad! It's in your hands, Matthew.
Hey, it's in your hands, man.
What's that Shadow about to tear up?
Man, bro, I can't.
Oh, leave it alone!
What is that? That weapon. Can't be a blade.
All right, break it up. You want to scrap? You scrap with me.
I don't normally stoop to this. Such duplicity is beneath me. The clockless.
What do you want to do, Shulk?
Bruh.
Careful!
So we can rough.
I like your attitude, kiddo. I'll show him a thing goes free.
I put two forces together to double my power. Chosen over for the pointed breakthrough.
Hold our power. It's a good moment for us. Go for it. Lord!
Let's see it, Glimmer. Here I go.
With or without Mobius, nothing will change.
Niall?
In the end, people always kill people.
I heard about that from Melia. A gift from Alvis, she called it.
This it?
Yes. The Liberator's base of operations.
Is this how badly you wish to erase us? My God.
But now I'm
I
blind
need
here.
N for Smash.
Glad I can choose for myself.
Honestly, just knowing who I'm meant to be fighting, that's the biggest thing of all.
Even having built the perfect world
I
for
need Council A or
humans it
Alvis
desired but beyond.
and Amiibo.
Matthew. Always in fantasy land.
Fuck it, Klaus for Smash or Amiibo.
I've seen that look before.
Hey, whoever's baby was screaming, that was Gwen. Gwen, that was the groupie right there.
Oh, yeah.
That was me. For
The only thing was that was my daughter. My daughter had hit unmute while I had muted because I knew she was yelling and she hit unmute.
This is for Game Impress. This didn't die. For Game Impress, this didn't die. It's still here.
So
still plays Dr. Luigi.
now
religiously.
here's the thing. They have come out and said this is going to be longer than Torna because Torna was only about 30 hours.
Yeah.
It was actually straight and to the point. And so this is going to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to be upfront and honest with y'all off the rip. I'm going to play this on Tuesday. It's going to be a let's do this quietly. I will play it as much as I can. Once Tears of the Kingdom drop, this is getting dropped. I'm just going to tell you right now.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to start playing this on Tuesday. And Tears of the Kingdom is going to come out. I mean, depending on where I am in Xenoblade, Tears of the Kingdom might not get picked up.
I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with y'all.
I just beat the game like last year anyway, so like who cares?
So I'm just going to be honest with y'all. If I don't complete this before Tears of the Kingdom, it'll get completed in August or September or November, October,
Or
somewhere
December,
in there.
or
It's completed in there.
It'll be next in line.
Yeah, it'll be after Tears of the Kingdom. But that being said, I did like what I saw. The only thing that threw me completely off, why the hell is Riku there?
Why did I throw you off?
Dude, you
He's a
know,
no
the no
pond.
pawns be throwing me off, man.
He's a no pond.
And he kept like the little stuff he was doing in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, talking about he a common variety no pond.
Yeah, he is. With the fourth wall break. Look, just like Tora.
Yeah, just like Ricky, just like
just like Ricky.
What is Sonono, Tora's granddad.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one no pun that's in not Uriah, the one that Morax from, that's at that little that's working that factory.
Dang.
Yeah. That's at that factory that keeps saying weird stuff.
Yeah. The no pawn archsays themselves, like
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Riku, what?
They're aware of the chorus. I'll just say that much.
Yeah.
They're aware of the chorus.
Yeah. So that has opened up a whole new can of worms. Now there has been a little bit of misinformation going around. Monolith is not done with Xenoblade. They're just wrapping up this story. That's why they did it like that. They're wrapping up this story. They are actually working on the next iteration of the series. So,
well, they still have the fantasy game as well too, and I think that's also going to be a Xeno game. So
at the end of the day, I think so too. Because I'm like, yeah, but they were still hiring people up till the end of last year. So
yeah,
I don't know what all they're working on.
They're just trying to figure out a way to. Well, they probably ought to roll a way to tie it in. I'm pretty sure they've already got that done. It's just getting the gameplay systems and all that other kind of stuff, because it's got to be a different gameplay system, but still feel the same kind of. They have the same. They have a way of. This is a different gameplay system, but it's not different. They have a way of doing that. So I'm pretty sure that's what they're working on.
At this point, hashtag Rex for Smash, Giga Chad Rex for Smash, dual wielding, of course. Right. Dual wielding Giga Chad Rex.
Choke is a Giga Chad too, because he's like mega glow up, like bro.
Yeah.
Got the dual bangs, like looking like the X from Xenoblade Chronicles X. I don't know what else to tell you. Like,
yeah. So I'm actually interested in seeing did Alva take Shulk's arm and did he take Rex's eye?
Probably both.
So I'm like, damn, I was like, why you acting like that, man?
Look, man,
I thought you was cool, dog.
He thought he was gonna get yeeted by Logos or Numa, so
yeah.
So look, I'm just running operations here, and y'all keep trying to bring life and death into this thing, and I'm like, no, just continue on with ops, and I can't continue on with ops if y'all keep doing this life and death thing. So I'm gonna take an eye and I'm gonna take an arm. How about that?
Yeah, so
it's a whole thing.
That's a whole thing. So I'm actually looking forward to it, because they haven't really told you nothing really. Like, they just let you know who the new characters are: Matthew, Nicole, A, and Glimmer. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see where this story goes.
RJ said the Klaus saga ends, but Manus is still a thing. So I don't know
unless they address it.
Well, they never addressed it at the end of one, so
yeah, that's true.
I can tell you exactly how this is going to end at Heartbreak.
Oh, that's how all these end. I'm like, that's like saying spoiler alert for a Metroid game when you know she's going to blow the planet or wherever she's at up.
There's going to be an explosion sequence, and there's going to be an explosion sequence where she got 30 seconds to leave the planet.
Yeah, and she's at the bottom of it. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, we went way over today. So I do apologize for that. Y'all know I try to keep it between an hour and a half. I do apologize for that. Our guest had to leave. His power went out. He just let me know. So that's what happened to Brandon. So we're gonna try to probably get him to come back one other day. But before we get out of here, Sandstorm, anything you want to pimp out?
Oh, I played Skyward Sword earlier. If you want to see some funniness of how much I struggled in that game,
Bro, I've been seeing the comments. Like I
my
was like, I gotta
gosh,
watch this.
man.
No, you were being hard-headed. You was
You
being
felt it with the
hard-headed.
waggle, bro?
You was being hard.
Oh my gosh, bro. It was bad. It was bad.
You were being hard-headed. I told you, like, dude, put
I,
your shield, bring up your shield. No, you want to be hard-headed. No, go be hard-headed.
I was like,
Be hard-headed.
I was like, my man's in Metroid. I'm like, this game design sucks. This game design is absolutely trash. This is the worst game design that I've
Get
ever
good?
seen. Yeah. I would say the puzzles are very well done. I'm not gonna hold you up. I really like the puzzle of that first area, and I'm still going right now. So I had a lot of fun with it. It's just the game in itself is really hard to deal with. Just like small minor things. I'm like, yo, why can't I hit this with the slingshot right here? Why shouldn't I be able to do that? Why is that not a thing? And then it'd be like,
Is
no,
this Wii or a Switch?
Switch.
Okay.
That's why. That's
Yeah.
why.
So, but outside of that, you know, I have fun. So that was today. Tomorrow. Usually I'm on the Joe podcast, but I'm not going to be on there tomorrow because I have some things I have to do. Thursday, I may be doing Breath of the Wild because like my Thursdays are starting to open up, I believe. So we'll be doing about Breath of the Wild. I guarantee you, I'll have a better time playing that. It'll be a lot easier doing that than it will with Skyward Sword. And then, of course, on Saturday we have the Stormcast, but that's up in the air. Friday is Vito's Vitoverse. So make sure you guys show up for that. Other than that, I believe that's it.
All right, Andre.
I mean, look, I just dropped a bunch of videos yesterday, and then there was one this morning. Basically, just going over my 10 years on YouTube from the technical anniversary of the first video I dropped was today, and laying out plans for me doing some reactions to some of my older content because I've wanted to and just haven't had time to, but I'm planning on doing it slowly and then just inundating everybody with like a couple days where I'm just going to drop like 10 to 15 videos. So be on the lookout for that.
All right, Shadow Fox.
So my channel's dead officially. Like I had a podcast last week, but a lot of y'all didn't come on, so fuck y'all. I will say, since y'all say I don't drop videos a lot, like go sub to Game Idea Guy, man. Look, I just commented on a video he posted like 2 or 3 years ago. Like he's got so many videos. Like go back and like he's got so many ideas and stuff that he put up here. Just like go look at his archive of all kind of stuff. If you mad that I don't upload a lot, like I don't know when this video is gonna go up. So like, there's no telling. Like I still haven't put up the Xbox Series X video from 2021. I guess like go figure. Like they'll come up whenever they come up, right? And I do Shadowcast. I'm trying to do on Wednesday. We'll see how that goes. But I want to have one pretty soon dealing with Metroid. We'll see how that goes, dealing with the guests and all that other kind of stuff. But if not, we'll do normal podcasts on Wednesdays. But yeah, don't bitch about my stuff. Just go see all these guys. Like Game Idea Guy has uploads for days. Jay has uploads for days for he does his silent plays and all that kind of stuff. Man, quit bitching about my shit, man. That's all I got to say, man. That's all I got.
All right, Jay.
Hey, I'm not even trying to top that. Shadow got it. Like, y'all have a great night.
Yeah. All right. If you want to check out some of that Street Fighter 6, there's a gameplay of it on the channel. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be playing Xenoblade Chronicles Future Redeemed on Tuesday. Probably when I get off from work, so probably around 5-6 o'clock. It's gonna be a let's do this quietly, so y'all can actually hear the game. And probably just play like the first hour or hour and a half. Probably gonna be jumping on Breath of the Wild as well because I need to get my bearings back on it. Just because I got to get myself back acclimated a little bit before Tears of the Kingdom drop. I will let you guys know in May we're gonna be taking a couple Sundays off because I had to go home for some stuff back home in Georgia. So we're gonna be taking a couple Sundays off. I'll let y'all guys know when those are. It's gonna be around Mother's Day, so it's probably gonna be that Mother's Day Sunday and probably that next Sunday. more than likely. But I will be probably posting up some gameplay vids and just letting them be on the channel so you guys have some content. Other than that, don't something I'm forgetting. If you are a content creator and you might have been nominated for the BIPOC Scream Awards, check your emails. Because Vicky said this morning that the email is going to start going out next week. So just so y'all know.
I'll be mad if I don't find a single email.
Check your business email. Don't check your personal email. That's a mistake I made.
Yeah, check whatever email you got that you gave. Check that email. So, that goes out next week. So, because the voting has closed. So, all right, that's all I got. So, thank you guys once again. Thank you everybody in the comments for coming through and hanging out with us. And we'll see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out, people.
Peace.
Later, y'all. Dr. Trey, come see me at Ultra Street Fighter 2.